What's up everybody, and welcome back once again to the channel. Make sure to subscribe and stack that like button, and I'm going to get straight into today's video. So today I'm going to be doing my post week 4 XFL power rankings, and without further ado, let's begin. So coming in at number 8, I have the Orlando Guardians, who are now sitting at 0-4. I think you can pretty much scratch this team off the list of contention. They just got blown out really badly again to the Roughnecks. The Guardians just have no answer to anything, and Terrell Buckley is not doing a good job of keeping his team disciplined. This team, it feels like, is getting penalized 20 times a game, and at some point you just got to blame coaching. They're not a well-coached team, and they're not a well-prepared team with all these penalties, and there just seems to be a lack of motivation from that team. Coming in at number 7, I have the Vegas Vipers, who I think you can pretty much scratch them off the list of contention because they're sitting at 0-4, and again, in a 10-game regular season, 0-4, there's no coming back from that. The Vegas Vipers are pretty much done as well. They did bring in quarterback Luis Perez, who was originally the starter coming into the year, but then he got benched to quarterback Brett Huntley, and now in this game, Brett Huntley got benched and they brought back in Perez. A lot of people, I thought that at first that the reason for Huntley sitting down was because of the hamstring that he was dealing with, but apparently it was just because of a lack of good play, according to the coaches, which, the fact that they said that means, dang, yeah, that it probably was true. They're not trying to hide that it was because of an injury, because they're saying it wasn't. So quarterback Luis Perez came in. He played solid. He played pretty efficient. But overall, the Vipers defense could not get stops. I think Luis Perez can be very good under a better system, as we saw him last year with the Generals. Coming in at number 6, I have the Arlington Renegades, who are now 2-2. And I have them behind a team that is 1-3, and I'll get into that when I get to them. But with the Arlington Renegades, this was their second game as Kyle Sloter as the starting quarterback. They made that change last week, and I think this isn't a good fit for Kyle Sloter, because you may remember Kyle Sloter from last year in the USFL with the New Orleans Breakers, and Kyle Sloter is an air it out, sling it down the field kind of guy. He's a guy who wants to air that ball out and take shots downfield, and that comes with a lot of big plays, but also a lot of turnovers. The Renegades, the way their play calling has been, and Renegades management has said themselves, like, this is a ground and pound kind of a team, and but like I said, if you look at their play calling, it seems a lot like a run on first, second down, do the run to set up the pass kind of an offense. But Kyle Sloter is more of a gunslinging, wants to throw the ball more, so it just doesn't seem like a good fit. Sloter, wants to be a pass-heavy guy who takes those deep shots downfield. Renegades are more of a take care of the ball, don't go for the big play, methodically down the field kind of a team, which it may just not be a good fit, and we really did see them struggle offensively in the first 2 weeks with Kyle Sloter as quarterback. Kyle Sloter could be a lot more successful on a different offense, and I think the Renegades should maybe look for a guy like Luis Perez, who's a good ball control kind of a quarterback, but it's very, but the problem is they don't have him. The Vipers do, so a little bit of an issue there, I think, for the Renegades. Coming in at number 5, I have the San Antonio Brahmas, who lost to the Sea Dragons on Saturday night. The Brahmas, I think, are a better team than the Renegades, in my opinion. The Brahmas are 1-3, though. The Renegades are 2-2, but I just feel the Brahmas have played a little more impressive in their games, and I feel like a lot of their losses were really tight ones. And the Renegades, there's something about them that I'm not sold on. They seem a little bit out of whack at times. The Brahmas just seem to not be able to quite finish games at times, but 1-3 is 1-3, so they are in a hole. And coming in at number 4, I have the Sea Dragons, who are now 2-2. The Sea Dragons, I think, are a very good team. Um, they lost their first two. They've now responded with 2 wins. I think this is a team that can definitely compete with the DC Defenders in the North. I think Ben DiNucci is probably the best quarterback right now in the XFL, and he's got a really good wide receiver duo there, and their defense played really well this past game, so I think the Sea Dragons are definitely a strong team moving forward. Coming in at number 3, I may have to reconsider who has the best home field advantage in the league after watching the St. Louis Battlehawks play at home in St. Louis at the Rams' old stadium. You know, that crowd was electric. There was almost 40,000 people there at the game. It was so loud, and you know the Renegades had to go on a silent count because of how loud it was. It was completely electric, and the Battlehawks have a really good home field advantage moving forward. They were able to get the win, and it was an important win to keep that fan base there fired up for the rest of the way. Coming in at number 2, I have the DC Defenders, who are 4-0. They are undefeated. They got a big matchup with the Battlehawks coming up this week, rematch of last week's game. You know, these two teams, you know, they had a scuffle at the end of their first meeting. It was a pretty tight game through most of the way. The Defenders got up in front of them early. Battlehawks will definitely be looking to change that, but that game's going to be interesting. But as of right now, Defenders, you know, they're first place in the North, and their home field advantage is almost just as strong as the Battlehawks. But the Battlehawks had to play at DC last time. Now the Defenders are going to have to come to St. Louis, and you know that crowd's going to be fired up. So it's going to be interesting to see. But right now, I have the Defenders ranked higher than them. And then coming in at number 1, Houston Roughnecks. They're clearly the team to beat. They hit 40 something points in their win over the Orlando Guardians. They just seem like the most complete team. Their offense is clicking. Their defense is very strong. And you know, they got Wade Phillips, a guy who has plenty of big game experience in his career coaching when he was in the NFL. Brandon Silvers is playing pretty efficient. Their quarterback. They just look pretty efficient, and they're not making the silly errors like a lot of teams are, doing these penalties that set them back or turning the ball over. They're playing their game, and they're taking advantage of the other team's mistakes, and that's why I think they are the best team right now, and they are sitting at 4-0 with an undefeated record. Comment down below what you guys think about my rankings. Do you agree with the Roughnecks being number 1? I think you have to put them number 1 right now, but you comment down below and let me know. And yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys next time.